Presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Arizona.
One more round in Milwaukee. It's breakfast with the D-backs as we conclude this series with the Brewers. A chance today for a split of the four-game set before we jet out to the coast for 3 in LA this weekend. It's the D-backs and the Brewers on Fox Sports Arizona. Good morning from Miller Park and welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthune, Bob Brenly along the way. The Diamondbacks today looking for a split in this four-game finale after their win here last night, led by Bob Yasmani Tomas. Another great game on this road trip, 5 RBIs.
Yeah, you wondered where the power was going to come from in the Diamondbacks lineup. Jake Lamb with a bruised hand, A.J. Pollock, David Peralta both on the disabled list. Well, Yasmani has picked up the slack, especially on the road this year. 2 more home runs last night, giving him 5 multi-homer games on the season. He's just a terror on the road, hitting over 300 with, I believe it's 14 of his 17 home runs coming on the road.
2 multi-home run games on this road trip. Robbie Ray is on the mound for the Diamondbacks. He'll be opposed by Zach Davies from Mesquite High School in Gilbert, and he's had a very nice year this season.
He really has. Got off to a slow start. His first 3 starts, 0-3 ERA, approaching 9, but since then he's 7-1 with a 2.84 ERA, a sinker, cutter, curveball, changeup combination.
So we are set to go for Miller Park. The roof and panels open. A lovely afternoon in Wisconsin. It's the Diamondbacks and the Brewers on Fox Sports Arizona. Arizona Diamondbacks baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by CenturyLink. Switch to CenturyLink Prism TV for an advanced TV experience. Learn more at cprismtv.com. By Jack in the Box. Taste the all-new Double Jack Burger today, only at Jack in the Box. By Mike's Hard Lemonade. Flavor starts here. Please drink responsibly. By Mattress Firm. Save money, sleep happy. And by your Valley Honda dealers, where you get more standard features for less money. Diamondbacks baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by Lone Butte Casino. Get in on big wins. By your Valley Chevy dealers, find a great deal on select 2016 vehicles at the Chevy Summer Sell Down. Visit your Valley Chevy dealer now. By Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing, choose Chaz. By Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. And by Gigablast, 100 times more powerful internet from Cox. Bring on tomorrow. An impressive win last night for the Diamondbacks here at Miller Park. Archie Bradley was outstanding. Yasmani Tomas 2 home runs. Yasmani back in the lineup today. Robbie Ray on the mound. First pitch coming up from Milwaukee right after this. Just about set to go from Miller Park in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Steve Berthune, Bob Brenly, and Jody Jackson with you. A very comfortable 77 degrees. Some day baseball here along the shoreline of Lake Michigan. And the finale of this 4-game series, the Diamondbacks and the Brewers, before we head to Los Angeles after the ball game today for 3 against the Dodgers. Starting tomorrow, D-backs on this 10-game road trip, 2-4 so far with 1 more to go. Can they get the 4-game split? And a look at the lineup for Chip Hale's Diamondbacks here this afternoon.
Michael Bourn once again at the top of the order. He'll be out in center field today. Phil Goslin at second base. Gene Segura at shortstop. Paul Goldschmidt down at first. Ricky Weeks Jr. getting another start in left field this afternoon. Yasmani Tomas in right. Brandon Drury at third base. Tuffy Gosewich doing the catching for left-hander Robbie Ray.
Your Arizona Ford starter for Milwaukee. He's out of Mesquite High School in Gilbert. Still lives there in the offseason. It's 23-year-old right-hander Zach Davies in his second big league season with the Brewers. And in the words of Craig Counsell, has been really good, doing a nice job making pitches. A 7-4 record and a 3.64 ERA.
And as I mentioned in the open, he lost his first 3 starts in the month of April with an ERA approaching 9. But since then, he's been really good. 7-1, an ERA of under 3. Wildcat Nation will be dialed in today to watch Zach Davies.
All right, on defense for the Brew Crew, brought to you by Nationwide Vision Centers. A little different look this afternoon. No Lucroy and no Braun.
Yeah, Braun was a late scratch. Kirk Neuenhuis takes over in right field. Flores will move over to left with Keon Broxton in center. It'll be Elmore and Perez on the left side of the infield. Jeanette and Carter on the right side. Martin Maldonado doing the catching for right-hander Zach Davies.
Chad Whitson has the plate this afternoon. He'll call the balls and strikes. The crew chief Gary Cederstrom is at first. Jim Wolf at second. and Adrian Johnson at third. And before we get underway, baby, it's time for your Valley Honda dealers key to the game.
Well, as always on a getaway day, especially before a long flight, it helps to win that ball game and make it a happy flight for everybody. That's what we're looking forward to this afternoon.
It was a distinctly different bus ride back at the hotel last night than it was 2 nights ago. I can tell you that for sure.
That's for sure.
One win can seem to change everything. Michael Bourne steps in against Zach Davies. We are set to go. The finale of the 4-game series for Miller Park, and Bourne lifts this one in the air to left center field. Ramon Flores is under it. 1 pitch, 1 out for Davies.
Davies came to the Brewers from the Baltimore Orioles for Gerardo Parra. That's kind of unusual. He was a relatively high draft pick by the Orioles, but put up good numbers at the minor league level, and his stock went up a lot higher than his draft round.
Yeah, Baltimore traded him here to Milwaukee at the deadline last year in that Parra trade, and he made his big league debut as a September call-up last year. And did well, went 3-2 in 6 starts, and he's off to a very good start this season. 0-1 to Phil Gosselin.
26th round pick in 2011.
Man, he has really developed nicely. Ahead of Gosselin 0-2. Phil back at second base today, hitting .267 with 1 home run. He was 0 for 5 last night, has 3 hits in the series. Bright sunshine here today. Just about 5-10 minutes north of downtown Milwaukee, right along the Lake Michigan shoreline. There is some cloud cover, but it's pretty bright out there right now. 79 degrees at first pitch, 1:10 local start. 2-2 on Gosselin. And once again he goes the other way. Neuenhuis is backing up and he won't get there. It's off the wall. And it's into the bullpen. A book rule double for Phil Gosselin. That's his 10th double this year.
Boy, he is locked into that right side of the field. Seeing a lot of pitches up and out over the plate. To his credit, not trying to pull him, not trying to lift him in the air to left field. Just stay on him, get the barrel on the ball. And this time a book rule double up and over into the bullpen.
Well, the Diamondbacks have scored at least 1 run in the first inning in 8 of their last 9 games. They put up 5 in the first last night. So Gosselin in scoring position. 1 out for the red hot Gene Segura. .318 and 8 home runs. Segura with 5 hits in the series. He has doubled twice, knocked in 2. And riding a 9-game hitting streak. Oh, and 2. Zach Davies is a little dude out there. He's 6 feet, 155.
If he stays in Milwaukee long enough between the cheese and the brats and the cream puffs, we'll put some weight on.
Doesn't stand a chance. That's the voices of experience
Yeah.
after 4 games here. You and I have eaten pretty well.
Ought to jog to LA to try to work off some of the calories we've consumed here.
This is always a fun visit, Milwaukee. It's a great town. Fastball misses in, then it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Gene Segura. Zach Davies 6-1 in his last 10 starts, and during that span he's pitched to an impressive 2.43 ERA. He won his previous start here Saturday at Miller Park. He beat the Cubs. And he strikes out Segura. Gene smashes the bat on home plate.
Mad at himself for chasing a pitch. It was probably up out of the zone there, up above the letters. And that stupid bat. You'll never do that to me again.
Well, that one won't anyway. So here's Paul Goldschmidt now. Goslin at second, 2 down. Goldie with 6 hits in the series, all singles. He's hitting .295 on the year with 17 home runs. Maldonado throws to second. Goslin is just back in time, says Jim Wolf. Goldie ahead 2-0.
Now Maldonado started the first game of this series. Caught Chase Anderson in that ball game, and we talked about it at the time. Martin Maldonado has a cannon back there, and he loves to show it off. Loves to throw to the bases, back pick at first, back pick at second.
(3-0) on Goldie. Ricky Weeks Jr., the former Brewer, is on deck. Ricky getting a start in left field today. A 4-pitch walk, 2 on and 2 out for the Diamondbacks, and here comes Ricky Weeks.
Yes, didn't want to give Goldie anything close to that strike zone right there. It's a semi-intentional, intentional walk.
So Goslin at second, Goldie at first, 2 down, and it's Ricky Weeks Jr. 237 and 5 homers. He started Monday's series opener, had a couple of walks and scored a run. Parts of 11 seasons as a Brewer here in Milwaukee. Davies gets the high strike call from Chad Whitson. It's 0-1. Drop that breaking ball in there. 0-2. Mentioned Davies beat the Cubs his last time out. That was Saturday. 6 1/3, gave up only 1 run on 3 hits. He pitched very well. And prior to that, 7 scoreless innings at Cincinnati, gave up only 4 hits.
Was very efficient in that start against Cincinnati. In his 7 innings of work, he only threw 92 pitches.
He got a no decision. That turned out to be a 1-0 Reds win on the walk-off wild pitch when Billy Hamilton scored from third.
105 pitches, a season high earlier this season against the St. Louis Cardinals in 8 innings of work.
Ground ball, get through ball. And then Perez stops it. Goslin wanders off the bag, and he just does get back in time as the ball gets away from Jake Elmore. It's an infield single for Ricky Weeks, and the bases are full for Yasmani Tomas.
Boy, we was robbed. What a play by Perez going up the middle of the field. That looked like a clean single into center. Diamondbacks were going to take an early lead in the ball game, and Perez closes ground. Throws behind Phil Goslin over there at third base. Fortunately, the ball got away from Jake Elmore, but the D-backs have him loaded here with 2 outs in the inning.
Well, based on what we've seen on this road trip, this is the guy you want up there right now, El Tanque Yasmani Tomas. 4 hits and 6 RBIs in the series. He homered twice last night. 1 to left center and 1 the other way to right. And And he swings at the first pitch. Tomas 262. Now tied with Goldie for second on the team with 17 homers. And he's third on the Diamondbacks at RBIs. One and one. His multi-homer game last night, his fifth of the season, all of them coming on the road. The Diamondbacks record for multi-homer road games in one season is 6. That was set by Gonzo back in 2001.
Really blasted that ball to left center field into the Brewers bullpen, and then a slider away from him. He drove over the fence in right field.
Changeup got him, and it's 1-2. Chip Hale was saying after last night's game that Yasmani looks confident right now. He's hitting late in the count if he has to, with 2 strikes and using the whole field. Down 1-2 here. Gets this up in the air. There's a drive left field, and it is drops in there, a ground rule double. And just like that, it's 2-0 Diamondbacks. Yasmani Tomas continues tearing it up on this road trip. Flores gave it a chase, but he couldn't get there in time. 2-0 Diamondbacks.
That ball was in the air for a long time down that left field line. I thought perhaps Flores would be able to catch up to it. Like another changeup. Tomas a little bit out in front, hits it off the end of the bat, but strong enough to drive it down into that corner. Diamondbacks on the board early again.
They have scored first inning runs now in 9 of their last 10 games. Brandon Drury. Brandon hitting .267 and 9 home runs. Tomas now with 8 runs batted in the series. This is carved the other way. Chris Carter drifting back from first base, and he's got it in fair territory. But Yasmani Tomas is at it again. A 2-run double has given Robbie Ray the early lead. Starter for the Diamondbacks is Robbie Ray. 5-9 in 20 starts, a 4.53 ERA, a career high 10 strikeouts in his previous outing. That was Saturday at Cincinnati. Today, his first ever start against the Brewers.
Yeah, really deserved a much better fate against the Reds in that ball game. A costly error in the first inning cost him some runs, and then a hanging slider cost him 3 more later in the ball game. But as you mentioned, 10 strikeouts, a career high in his 5 innings of work.
Jake Elmore, the ASU Sun Devil and former Diamondback, leads it off for the Brewers. He's in at third base today. 208 and 2 RBIs on the year. Just 20 games with Milwaukee this season. Elmore had a pair of hits and RBIs Tuesday. He was 0 for 2 with a walk last night. Robbie in that start over the weekend at Great American Ballpark. Bob, I think he worked harder in that start than he had in any start he's made as a Diamondback. He labored and had to throughout that ball game.
Under real adverse conditions too. It was hot and humid. He really had to work hard.
Had that botched rundown when they had Billy Hamilton hung up halfway between third and home. He was able to get back safely. Then the Jake Lamb throwing error. And as Chip Hale said it, Robbie gave up 3 runs in the first, but those 3 runs were on the defense.
Yep.
And from that point on, he really had to do it all by himself.
I mentioned he did hang a slider to Jay Bruce with a couple runners on base. Really one of the few bad pitches he threw in the entire ball game.
Broken bat, Bloop dunks into left in front of Ricky Weeks Jr. and Elmore has a leadoff single. The lineup for Craig Counsell's Milwaukee Brewers.
The 3 best hitters are out of the lineup today. Braun, Lucroy, and VR. This is what Craig Counsell has to work with. Jake Elmore at third base, Scooter Gennett at second base, Hernan Perez at third base. Is that right? Shortstop. Yeah, changed guys around there. Chris Carter at first base, Kirk Neuenhuis out in right field, Martin Maldonado doing the catching with Keon Broxton in center, Ramon Flores in left, and Zach Davies on the mound.
Ryan Braun was scratched about an hour before first pitch today with right side tightness.
Yeah. Of course, when Ryan Braun scratched this time of year, everybody started to think, hey, he's been traded, but supposedly not.
Scooter Gennett looks at strike 1. 264 and 9 home runs. Trade deadline is coming up. Lucroy is front and center in those trade deadline rumors. He's got the day off today. Trade deadline is Monday. A lot of teams supposed to be in on Jonathan Lucroy. Rangers, Indians, Astros, Mets, Red Sox, all connected to a possible Lucroy deal. Ken Rosenthal of Fox Sports says the Tigers are in discussions with Milwaukee about Lucroy. One misses away.
Yeah, it might be a little tougher to get true value out of Jonathan Lucroy if he goes to the other league. I mean, you think about it, a whole new pitching staff to learn, a whole new set of pitchers to learn as a batter. I mean, I'm sure he would get up to speed quickly. He's a sharp guy, really talented behind the plate and at the plate, but probably be a little easier for him if he stayed in the National League.
Kind of interesting to think about how many teams really could use a frontline catcher. The Indians desperately need one. The Mets could really use one. The Red Sox have kind of ham and egged it behind the plate with Sandy Leone stepping up and having a big bat out of nowhere for Boston. Tigers have gone back and forth with McCann and Saltalamacchia. A bunch of contenders could use Jonathan Lucroy. The 3-1 to Scooter Gennett. A single and a walk open up the bottom first for Milwaukee. That brings up Hernan Perez.
Mentioned the 3 top hitters for the Brewers out of the lineup today. That leaves Craig Counsell with 6 guys in his starting lineup today hitting under 220. The highest batting average is a guy making his way to the plate right now. He's hitting 274.
And that is Hernan Perez batting third in the lineup for the first time this year. 274, 5 homers. He was dropped into that spot after Braun was scratched. 2 for 11 in the series with 3 strikeouts. He's got Elmore at second and Gennett at first. Robbie Ray a little wild as we start the ball game. So far 11 pitches and only 4 strikes. Hard to short. Segura knocks it down. Gosselin will have to settle for 1.
That looked like a sure double play. Hard hit ball. Just a couple steps to Gene Segura's right there, but it was hit so hard and hugged the ground so closely. He just didn't come up with it cleanly. He could only get the force at second.
Chris Carter hitting .219 leads the Brewers in home runs and RBIs, already with his 4th consecutive 20-homer season. 2 hits in the series, both singles for Carter. Robbie Ray in immediate trouble, handed a 2-0 lead. They're on the corners with 1 out. Elmore at third and Perez at first. Perez takes off and they got him hung up. Goldie could not throw the ball. He was going on first move. They had him dead to rights.
I wonder if Goldie was fearful that he would hit Perez in the back as he was running to second base. Usually a first baseman will try to step inside the baseline to clear a throwing lane, but decided just to hang on that time.
Now Gosselin will move over to the shortstop side of second. 3 infielders on the left-hand side as Carter fouls that one off. And it's 0-2. Talked last night with Archie Bradley about how hard it is to work from the stretch all the time. High leverage pitches, more energy, more thought. Wears you out a lot faster. Can't settle into a rhythm, get comfortable, be free and easy working from the windup. Every pitch is a big one. Boy, Archie was terrific last night. 7 innings, only 1 run, gave up just 4 hits. Walked 3, struck out 6. 1-2 to Carter. Well, he leads the National League in strikeouts and he punches out. 2 down. Our eye on defense for the Diamondbacks is brought to you by Nationwide Vision Centers.
Diamondbacks will feature an outfield of Ricky Weeks Jr. in left, Michael Bourne in center, Yasmani Tomas over in right field. It'll be Drury and Segura on the left side of the infield with Phil Gosselin and Paul Goldschmidt on the right side. Tuffy Gosewich doing the catching today for lefty Robbie Ray.
Kirk Neuenhuis. Couple of hits in this series. He doubled Tuesday, hitting .211 on the year. Neuenhuis was not in the Brewers' original lineup today. Ryan Braun scratched about an hour before first pitch, so Craig Counsell had to move things around. He dropped Neuenhuis into the 5-hole against the lefty Robbie Ray. Not ideal. Robbie jumps ahead 0-2. Neuenhuis has walked twice and struck out 3 times in the series. He's got 8 home runs on the year. Called strike 3. Robbie Ray gets 2 strikeouts and strands 2. Diamondbacks lead the Brewers 2-0. Hey fans, Zach Greinke Bobblehead Day is coming up next Saturday, August 6th. And the first 20,000 fans to the Diamondbacks and Brewers game. It's a 5:10 start. Get this Zach Greinke Bobblehead. It's courtesy of Safelite Auto Glass. Get your tickets at dbacks.com. The Zach Greinke Bobblehead is on the road trip. Tuffy Gozawish leads off the second against Zach Davies. Tuffy 217 with a home run in 7 games this year. He started Monday's series opener behind the plate, went 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Diamondbacks got 2 in the first against Zach Davies. A Goslin double, a Goldie walk, a weak single. They were loaded. Tomas a 2-run double. And Tuffy ahead now, 3 balls and 1 strike. Robbie Ray on deck.
A big crowd here at the ballpark for an early day game on a Thursday.
Did pretty well. Everything's opened up. Roof and panels open. The wind is blowing in at a pretty good clip from left center field. Those outfield panels back there wide open, letting that breeze come through. Hernan Perez throws him out from shortstop, 1 away. Here's Robbie Ray.
So that last at bat in the bottom of the first inning by Kirk Neuenhuis. It just looked like Robbie Ray decided, I'm not going to mess around. I'm going to throw 3 fastballs and get out of this jam.
Tell you what, if he has that kind of attitude and approach, he's really going to be successful, because it seemed like Bob last year and earlier this year he was a little bit of a nibbler. But if Robbie's aggressive out there and grunting and firing away, that seems to be when he's at his best. Davies gets his second strikeout, 2 down.
Hey fans, a D-backs home run today means a free jumbo jack tomorrow at participating Jack-in-the-Box locations with the purchase of a large drink.
Michael Bourn the start in center field, back in the leadoff spot again today. Gene Segura batting third, Goldie fourth. Still no Jake Lamb, out with that bruise on his left hand. Michael flied out to left on the first pitch of the ball game. Three hits and an RBI in the series for Bourn. There's a tapper in the hole. Elmore in front of Perez, spins and throws him out. A 1-2-3 second for Davies. Diamondbacks lead the Brewers 2-0.
The 2-0 lead. We all know how Robbie Ray is such a max effort pitcher with the fastball velocity. We got on the topic, though, of noisy pitchers in the clubhouse today. Chip Hale said, I really haven't seen anyone grunt quite like Robbie does sometimes. Jake Peavy yells a lot, but Tuffy said, I don't even talk to him about it. But actually, Chip thinks it might be tied into a little bit of superstition. There have been a couple of starts where he really didn't grunt very much at the start of the game, but didn't have a lot of success. So it could be tied to just his comfort level, maybe relaxation for Robbie, in fact. But, guys, I'm not hearing much of it right now.
Yeah, it's quiet as a mouse down there. We have a pretty good booth here at Miller Park down close to the field, and it's crickets from what we can hear up here. Cincinnati, he was grunting on every pitch over the weekend. Martin Maldonado, the catcher, leads off the Brewers' second. Ooh, fastball missed. Chad Whitson not giving Robbie Ray that one. It's 1-2.
Good location.
Oh, good pitch. That's right there. That's 3 consecutive strikeouts for Robbie Ray.
After not getting called on that fastball in the inside corner, comes back with a slider in the same location, and Maldonado swings right over the top. Good combination of pitches right there.
You know, not for nothing, but with this lineup the way it's fixated for Craig Counsell today, he should be able to blow right through these guys with his stuff.
You'd like to think so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, no disrespect, but this is not murderer's row here today for the Brewers. Keon Broxton. Robbie ahead again, 0-2. That was a little grunt worthy right there.
I'm just trying to think back to pitchers that I faced. He used to grunt on the mound. Of course, Nolan Ryan jumps to mind immediately.
Zach Greinke does it a lot.
Yeah.
We've heard Zach a lot this year. Yeah, starting to get a few grunts now that Jody brought it up. Intimidating enough to face Nolan Ryan, let alone Nolan Ryan when he's grunting. That's a scary proposition.
Nolan Ryan was like the soup Nazi of pitchers. You know, you face him for the first time, and the veterans would tell you, don't look him in the eye. If you happen to get a hit, just run the bases, put your head down, run the bases, and if you get lucky enough to hit one out of the ballpark, you better make it around those bases as quickly as you can. Don't look at him. Just get back in the dugout as quickly as you can.
No soup for you.
No soup for you.
Come back 1 year. Robbie Ray with 4 consecutive strikeouts. He had a career high 10 in his last start at Cincinnati, and he's got the strikeout pitch working today.
Fastball with great velocity. The slider is working to the back door and the back foot so far in the early going. Hasn't really needed a straight changeup yet. Might not need one all day if those 2 pitches work the way they have in the early going.
He should be able to carve these guys up. Ramon Flores. Throwing strikes. That's in there in 95. Flores 2-11 with a 1 home run. 1 for 4 in the series. He has singled, walked, and scored a run. It's a tough matchup for Flores. He has struggled at the plate regardless lately. 5 for his last 48.
And showed up to the ballpark today expecting to sit back and have some sunflower seeds, and here he is in the lineup against a tough lefty.
Go get him, kid. Robbie struck out the side twice in Cincinnati over the weekend. He's a strike away from doing it right here for the first time, and there it is. Robbie Ray gets the side in order. 1, 2, 3. He has struck out 5 straight Brewers and leads it 2-0. Robbie Ray, coming off a career-high 10 punch-outs against the Reds, gets Maldonado, rings up Broxton, and punches out Flores. We are through 2. It's 2-0 Diamondbacks.
The top half of the 3rd inning. As a community service and to make Kirk Nieuwenhuis feel a little better, we've kind of featured him in our Geico legacy moment just after this at bat by Phil Gosselin.
You mean last night wasn't a legacy moment?
Well, it was for Kirk Nieuwenhuis.
Quite a legacy.
Yeah. Brooks Robinson, a 16-time Gold Glover, committed 3 errors on this day in 1971, Kirk, so don't feel bad.
In the air to right field for your man Nieuwenhuis.
Drop it.
No, come on. We kid because we love Kirk Nieuwenhuis. Had a rough night yesterday. 3 errors in right field in the first 2 innings of the ball game.
And none particularly hard plays. Just the ball hit him in bad parts of the glove.
Does he look nervous?
Can of corn.
Gene Segura. Nieuwenhuis has played more than 1,800 career innings in the field with only 5 errors. And that was before last night. But he committed 3 errors in the first 2 innings.
Get away.
Keon Broxton runs that down in the gap. Craig Counsell was saying, look, it was just a weird night. It wasn't carelessness because Nieuwenhuis booted those balls. It just was one of those quirky things.
It really was a bizarre first inning. Both the top and the bottom of the inning just sat here and scratched our heads. What in the world is going on?
Jonathan Villar, 2 throwing errors. Nieuwenhuis, 3 errors. Villar got himself thrown out at third base trying to steal down 5-0 and was pulled from the ball game as Goldie knocks that one into right field for a 2-out single.
Yeah, after the Diamondbacks put a 5 spot on the board in the top half of the first last night, the Brewers had runners at first and second and nobody out. And Jonathan Lucroy, the number 4 hitter, didn't even make it to the plate that inning.
It was bizarre. As Ryan Braun flied out to Tomas in right field, Scooter Gennett, who had walked, was doubled off first. And then Villar, who doubled to lead off the inning, got himself thrown out with 2 outs, trying to steal third. Well, that's a big time no-no. And Villar, to his credit, put it all on him last night. He said, look, it was my bad. That's a mistake that can't happen. He was yanked out of the ball game, not for the errors, but for the base running, said Craig Counsell.
Now, we know Craig Counsell's a very aggressive manager. We've talked about the stolen bases. He likes to turn his guys loose, but it has to be intelligent aggression. You can't just run wild on the bases, certainly depending on the situation.
Now, you're down 5-0 in the first. You don't try to steal third. You need base runners in that situation.
Yeah, with Jonathan Lucroy at the plate, one of your best RBI men.
Hey now. 0-2 on Ricky Weeks Jr., who singled his first time. There's Lucroy, the day off today. Caught the ball game last night. Might not be a Brewer by Monday. That's when the trade deadline hits. Ricky Weeks not a Brewer anymore either. He's down 0-2. Drafted second overall by Milwaukee back in the 03 draft out of Southern University. A .249 career hitter here with just under 150 home runs as a Brewer. Ricky Weeks Jr. has made 20 starts for the Diamondbacks this year, and in those starts, he's been very effective. He's hit .286 as a starter this season, including 5 home runs. Getting his second start in this series. Called strike 3. Davies gets his third strikeout and strands the 2-out single. Diamondbacks lead the Brewers 2-0. Quite the way Colin Cowherd and Jason Whitlock do. They have the brains to know and the guts to say. Catch Colin and Jason on FS1's new daily sports talk show, Speak for Yourself. It comes your way weekdays at 3 only on FS1. Zach Davies, the pitcher, leads it off against Robbie Ray, who has struck out the last 5 Brewers he's faced. Zach Davies at 155 pounds. He looks like a junior high school kid up there, doesn't he?
The Brewers have a lot of guys that look very young because they are young.
2 for 32 at the plate this year. Chops that one to second for Goslin. 6 in a row retired by Robbie Ray.
Yeah, moral victory for Davies. At least he made contact, unlike the 5 guys that hit before him.
Well, Robbie Ray has struck out at least 7 batters in 7 consecutive starts. He's already punched out 5 today. Got 10 Reds Saturday at Cincinnati, his career high. Elmore led off the ball game with a single for the Brewers. That's Milwaukee's only hit so far. Robbie said the biggest thing he liked about that last start against the Reds was his fastball command, and it appears like he's got that command well under control again today. Most of his strikeouts against the Reds came on fastballs. And he's done a really good job lately working both sides of the plate with that fastball, and that really sets up the changeup and the slider, keeping hitters off balance with that breaking stuff. Fastball up, but it's fouled off, and it stays 0-2 on Jake Elmore. Going to be tough for right-hand hitters today. That wind is really gusting in from left field and left center with the outfield panels open here. You get it up in the air to left, it's going to get right into the teeth of that wind. Those flags are flapping out there.
Well, you never really know for sure in a partially enclosed stadium with the roof open. It extends over the bleachers on the first base and third base side, and sometimes the wind gets in the bowl, circles around and blows back out. But certainly on the surface it would appear that things get hit to left field are going to get knocked down.
Good stop by Brandon Drury. He is a really good defensive third baseman. A tricky short hop there, and he makes it look easy.
Very similar to the play he made in the ball game last night. Kind of an in-between hop. Gets that glove way out in front there and throws on the move to Goldie. A little bit offline, but a nice adjustment by Paul Goldschmidt at the other end. Just always under control down there.
He has looked very good. His natural position at third base, Brandon Drury. 2 down for Scooter Gennett, who walked in his first plate appearance. Robbie at 40 pitches, 28 strikes. Stays away from the fastball that time. Gennett looked like he tweaked something on that swing.
Yeah, right wrist, right hand, perhaps big swing on a slider working away from him. I really think Gennett predetermines if it's a first pitch fastball, I'm going to try to hit a home run. If he gets something else, he can take an awkward swing like he just did.
Robbie grunted that time loudly and kind of spiked it, so it's 1-1 on Gennett. He's got 5 hits, 4 RBIs in the series. He homered off the center field scoreboard here Monday. Not the hitter's background, the scoreboard above the hitter's background. That off Braden Shipley. Fastball's in there for strike 2. Shipley will start Saturday in LA against the Dodgers.
And the same game, Scooter Gennett took a full swing and hit a pop-up that landed behind the mound that nobody could make a play on. The exit velocity at 32.5 miles per hour.
Killed it. Looks like he's overthrowing that slider. He was nice and smooth, had kind of a flow to him now, but as he's grunting more and more now, that breaking ball is getting away from him more often.
Many times the pitcher, as you said, he was working in a nice rhythm. Slider was nice and easy, smooth delivery, smooth release point. Well, that was easy. Watch what happens when I really try to throw a slider, and then you overthrow. The ball doesn't take as much break. You don't hit your spots as consistently. It falls in under that trying to do too much category.
2-2 on Scooter Gennett. Gennett can handle himself against left-hand pitching. He's hitting just under 260 versus lefties this year, including a couple of home runs. around and into center. Scooter Gennett has now hit safely in 7 straight, a 2-out single. Brings up Hernan Perez. Batting third today, Ryan Braun, a late scratch with right side tightness. Perez in at shortstop for Jonathan Villar, who also has the day off. No Villar, no Braun, no Lucroy for the Brewers today. He gets a hold of this one and drives it deep to center field and gone. Hernan Perez, that's his 6th home run, and we are tied at 2. Hernan Perez, 6 homers this year, 5 of them coming off left-hand pitchers.
This ball is absolutely crushed. Fastball inner third of the plate, caught it right off the barrel of the bat, knew it immediately, was looking over to his own dugout as he was running down that first baseline. Another ball that hits off the bottom of the scoreboard in center field.
Well, Robbie Ray had retired 7 straight, but a Gennett single and a Perez homer have tied the ball game. Here's Chris Carter. Well, that worked out for Craig Counsell, has to put Perez in the 3-hole when Ryan Braun was scratched, and he hits one about 430 out to center. 1-1 on Carter.
And partner, one of our other this day in baseball history, a runner-up. 1963, Stan Musial. And guy played 22 years in the big leagues. Over 3,000 games at the major league level. And on this day in baseball history back in 1963, struck out 3 times in a game. The only time in his career he struck out as many as 3 times. Wow. Chris Carter, on the other hand, has punched out 13 times. He struck out at least 3 times in a game.
Leading the league in strikeouts.
Only 97 games into the season for Chris Carter.
Your days in history today have a lot of perspective, a lot of big picture philosophy.
Trying to tie it together.
You've really done a nice job of weaving a narrative. Carter strikes out. That's 6 strikeouts in the ball game for Robbie Ray, but Perez gets a homer to tie it up at 2.
3. However, the score is tied 2-2 as we head to the top half of the fourth. Hey, fans, when the D-backs win, you win at Papa John's. The day after every Diamondbacks win, you get 50% off your regular menu price online order at Papa John's. Enter promo code DBACKS50 at papajohns.com.
A two-run double by Yasmani Tomas. A two-run home run by Hernan Perez. All the scoring so far. Tomas leads off the fourth against Gilbert Zach Davies. This was Tomas's double in the first. Bases loaded, 2 outs. He gets the big hit.
That's a big, strong man right there. He hit that ball on about the last 2 inches of the bat, way out near the end of the bat, and still hit it in the middle of the warning track down the left field line.
Big cut at that one and missed, and he's down 0-2. Tomas was asked a lot of questions last night through coach and interpreter Ariel Prieto. And the consensus seemed to be, and Yasmani was saying, that he has been working trying to follow the ball all the way in until he makes contact, and that's why he believes his results are a little better right now. But oftentimes, as you just saw there, it looks like that head comes up and he's swinging without even looking at the baseball. Check the head, in the words of the Beastie Boys. Right there, it comes up. But lately he's been staying and doing a better job of staying on it longer, Bob. At least that's what he says, and that's what they've been working on.
That's the ultimate goal. It's kind of natural for a hitter once you get past the point of contact and there is no contact. Your head kind of comes off. But you're absolutely right about Yasmani. Occasionally he's picking his seat in left field where he wants to hit the ball instead of watching the ball all the way to contact.
Brandon Drury picks at that one and pops it up to shallow right center. Nieuwenhuis coming in, and he's got it.
We were talking last night about Michael Bourn and everything he goes through to get ready to play on an everyday basis as a 33-year-old. And I was mentioning the young guys, you know, they just bounce out of bed. They're ready to play a game.
Yeah.
First guy on the field today was Brandon Drury.
His makeup is off the charts.
Oh, he was running sprints. He was doing agility drills. He went down to the Diamondbacks bullpen while some of the pitchers were throwing side sessions, took his bat down there and stood in tracking pitches.
He thinks about baseball 24 hours a day. That's the best way to describe Brandon Drury. And he seems to be he's a sponge, man. I mean, he is really a student of his profession. And it's impressive to watch and talk to him. He's always thinking about the game.
He's thinking right now he doesn't like the game so much.
A little frustrated with himself for popping that pitch up. Chasing one a little bit out of the zone. Tuffy lifts this one up in the air for Flores and left. Zach Davies gets a 1-2-3 inning. We are tied at 2 at Miller Park. Toyota Highlander. It's parked out there in right center field at Miller Park. And if a Brewer hits that on the fly, somebody here wins a car.
Nice.
It's a pretty good deal from Toyota. And Toyota gives us our let's go places. After the ball game today, we fly out to Los Angeles. 3 against the Dodgers starting tomorrow. And LA is rolling right now. The Giants are scuffling, and the Dodgers, Bob, are making a move. They are really heating up offensively.
Yeah, Corey Seager, he's been hot all year against the Diamondbacks. Red hot recently. Adrian Gonzalez starting to drive the ball a little bit more recently. Justin Turner swinging a hot bat. It's going to be a challenge.
And the Giants lost again yesterday. They have really hit a wall, it seems, after the All-Star break. Kirk Neuenhuis leads off the 4th for the Brewers. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. Zach Godley will start the opener Friday in LA against Kenta Maeda. Braden Shipley and Scott Kazmir Saturday. Patrick Corbin, Bud Norris in the road trip finale Sunday. The laundry starting to pile up.
I know the feeling.
We only get so many of these shirts.
Yeah.
Diamondbacks this year have 6 3-city road trips. That seems like a lot. This is number 4, so we've got 2 more 3-city road trips this year after this one. That's a lot of up and down on airplanes and hotel lobbies. A lot of suitcases. A lot of work for the whole crew. He did not go, says Adrian Johnson, and the count is full on Neuenhuis, 3-2. Robbie Ray so far today has walked 1, struck out 6. Bring him up and sit him down. There's 7 strikeouts for Robbie. He's got Neuenhuis twice.
Mentioned he tied his career high with 10 putouts against the Reds in his last start. With this undermanned Brewers lineup and the way Robbie's throwing the ball today, he might blow right past that.
Yeah. He has now struck out at least 7 batters in 8 consecutive starts. Martin Maldonado a strikeout victim. Robbie struck out 5 in a row. The last 2 outs in the first, and struck out the side in the second. Fastball missed in, and it's 2-0 on Maldonado. Maldonado had the big hit in Monday's game, a 3-run home run off Braden Shipley. He's got only 13 hits all year, but 4 of them are homers. Carves this one out to Goslin, who goes top shelf and gets it. Phil Goslin. Big ups, 2 down.
Sometimes those are the toughest ones to time. It wasn't really hit that hard. Sounded like it was off the hands. Little floater working its way out there to shallow right field, but Goslin times his leap perfectly, taking a base hit away.
That'll bring up Keon Broxton. Broxton got the start last night, went 0 for 3. He's 1 for 7 in the series. A little more cloud cover right now than we started with that first pitch. Not quite as bright out there for the fielders. Robbie Ray snags that one. Off the ground, he throws it out. 4 in a row set down by Robbie. We are tied at 2 through 4 in Milwaukee. sombreros have made the trip out here to Miller Park. We've seen a bunch of them here in this series.
Very popular item.
Our greater coverage of baseball brought to you as always by T-Mobile. Rest of the National League West today. Rockies are at Citi Field in New York. Jacob deGrom got the start in that one. Mets lead at 1-0. And later today, the Nationals at San Francisco. Johnny Cueto on the mound against Tanner Roark. There are the D-back sombreros. Two more in the seats here at Miller Park. Good crowd here today, as Bob mentioned earlier. Robbie Ray starts off the fifth against Zach Davies, who has retired 10 of the last 11 he's faced. .60 pitches for Zach Davies, 41 strikes. 2-1 on Robbie Ray. Zach Davies' season got off to a bumpy beginning, as Bob mentioned earlier. He lost his first 3 starts in April, including his first one of the year when he lasted less than 3 innings against the Pirates. That got ugly quickly, but as soon as the calendar turned to May, he seemed to get right back on course. And in his last 14 starts, Davies has gone 7-1 with a 2.84 ERA. He has lost only once since April 29th. So he's pitched very well. He gets his 5th strikeout to open up the 5th.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at, say it with me, participating locations.
Michael Bourne batting leadoff and in center field today. So far 0 for 2. Diamondbacks have had only 1 hit since the first inning. That was Goldie's 2-out single in the 3rd. Davies has retired 11 of 12. Two and two. Scooter Gennett at second base. 2 outs. That'll bring up Phil Gosselin. Gosselin doubled and scored in the 1st. He's 1 for 2. So he's got 4 hits in the series. Maldonado giving it to full Tony Pena back there. Just give those knees a break on the occasional pitch. Fly ball to center for Keon Broxton coming in, and he's got it. Zach Davies has retired 8 straight and 13 of 14. It's a 2-2 ball game in Milwaukee. fifth inning. Hey, D-backs fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with the all-new Fox Sports Go app. Download the app and take Fox Sports Arizona and D-backs baseball with you wherever you go. Ramon Flores leads off the Brewer fifth. Check swing foul, and it's 1-2. Robbie Ray, 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and he's got 8 strikeouts.
Well, one thing you really like about Robbie Ray today, not messing around with the bottom of the order. Not that there's a strong top of the order today for the Brewers, but really putting the guys at the bottom away quickly.
Yeah, the Brewers have only 3 hits. One of them, the Perez 2-run homer that tied the ball game. Here's the pitcher, Davies. Just checking the Twitter here, BB, and Steve Gilbert, who covers the Diamondbacks for MLB.com, is tweeting out he is hearing the Diamondbacks are getting close to a deal for Daniel Hudson. So we'll keep our eyes and ears open for that if anything develops over the course of the ball game. There's Huddy
doing some self-training, has the rubber glove on, putting some of that heat on his elbow and upper arm.
Make it 9 strikeouts for Robbie Ray.
The thing about a guy like Daniel Hudson, obviously great teammate, never been a problem in the clubhouse, whether things are going good or bad, the team's winning or losing. Very good teammate, obviously tremendous stuff, and I imagine there's a lot of pitching coaches around Major League Baseball that think in their minds we can fix what the problem is right now.
This is a guy with a tremendous amount of guts.
Yep.
Throws the ball 98 miles an hour. You hate to lose him, but you can see why he would be an attractive bullpen piece for a contender. He's a very good pitcher. Jake Elmore. Robbie Ray in full grunt now, but behind on Elmore 2-1. Robbie has retired all 6 he's faced since the Perez homer. 4 by strikeout. He's punched out 9 today. .97 that time from Robbie. Struck out the side twice against the Reds in his last start Saturday at Cincinnati. He has struck out the side once today. That was in the 2nd inning. And he's a strike away from doing it one more time here in the 5th. Chad Whitson not biting back there, and it's a full count 3-2. Got him. Robbie Ray strikes out the side for the second time today, and he has matched his career high. He has struck out 10 batters for the second straight start. We are through 5, tied at 2.
Paul Goldschmidt due up second here in this inning. And last night when we walked into the clubhouse, reporters to meet Chip Hale and talk to the players, Paul Goldschmidt was looking at video. And of course, that's normal for guys to look at their ABs, whether it's a good or a bad result. But Paul really taking a lot of time. And from the numbers we've come to expect from him, in this series, guys, already he's got 7 hits so far in this 4-game series, but not the fireworks of last year's series here with the 3 doubles and 2 homers. But Chip Hale said people have come to expect that from Goldie.
He's got 7 hits in the series. You're right, Jody, but all singles. A little unusual considering he's got 9 doubles and 7 home runs in this ballpark in 15 games. But you'll take the hits where you can get them, especially against Zach Davies, who has really settled in. He has retired 7 straight Diamondbacks in 13 of the last 14. And he's ahead of Gene Segura, a ball and 2 strikes as we open up the 6th inning. Segura now with a 9-game hitting streak, but 0 for 2 today. Dave McKay still got those good infielder hands down there.
Yeah, watching Davies, sometimes we'll talk about a pitcher that's sneaky quick. He looks like he's throwing harder than the radar gun is reading. For Davies, he's getting a lot more movement than you think he is. That sinker that he throws, the 2-seamer into the right-handed hitters, has a lot of late movement. Really gets in on the hands.
Another good example. You don't need to throw 98 to get guys out, even at this level. He's topped out at 90 on the radar gun today. Full count, 3-2. Davies has walked 1, struck out 5. Segura gets this in the air. Shallow center. Broxton broke back, coming in. Had a bad read on that one, but he collects himself, and that's the first out here in the 6th.
Oh, isn't speed wonderful? Keon Broxton has misread just about every fly ball hit to center field the last couple of days, but that speed makes up for a bad read, turns it into a relatively easy play.
Here is Goldie. He has walked, singled, scored a run today. He's hitting just under 280 for the second half of the year. 2 homers in 11 games since the All-Star break. Belts that one off the mound. Another hit for Goldie in this series. That's his 8th all singles.
Hey fans, follow Arizona Diamondbacks baseball live with the MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
1 on, 1 out for Ricky Weeks Jr. Ricky has singled and struck out, getting the start today in left field. On the ground to third base for Elmore. Jeanette for one, and they turn it. That'll end the inning. Bottom 6 from Miller Park. We're tied at 2. The D-backs and the Bros. Racing sausages, a trademark at Miller Park. A twist today. It's a relay race. You've got the 5 sausages, but then they hand it off to the little weenies.
Yeah, look at this. Some kids going to finish the relay race today. The Case Meat Classic.
And it looks like a big win for a hot dog. Way out in front. The little weenies here at Miller Park.
Nicely done.
Slow-mo finish in the cargo shorts for hot dog.
Wow. Hot dog won twice during this 4-game series.
It was a good series. Scooter Gennett leads off the bottom of the 6th against Robbie Ray, who has retired 7 straight and tied his career high with 10 strikeouts. Gennett has walked, singled, scored a run, 1 for 1.
The way Davies is pitching, it's a good thing Robbie's on top of his game today.
A 1 hopper to Phil Gosselin.
Hey fans, mark your calendars for the 6th annual alumni game on Saturday, August 27th. This year's alumni game starts early at 2:30 in the afternoon. Plus the first 20,000 fans will get the D-backs pullover courtesy of Sanderson Ford. Get tickets now at dbacks.com/alumni.
Well, here's the guy that put a thorn in Robbie Ray's side, Hernan Perez. A 2-run homer in the 3rd that tied the ball game. Diamondbacks got 2 in the top half of the 1st on a Yasmani Tomas 2-run double, and then Perez hit one off the scoreboard. His 6th of the year. Kind of the same as the last start for Robbie Ray, Bob, where he pitched a really good ball game, just made the one hanger to Jay Bruce that Bruce hit out for a 3-run homer. And if it weren't for the Perez home run, this would be an absolute gem for Robbie so far today. 1-2. Robbie Ray's spot in the order would be due up 4th in the 7th inning. Bullpen quiet right now for the Diamondbacks. 2-2 on Hernan Perez. Perez moved into the 3-hole about an hour before first pitch. If you're just joining us, Ryan Braun was scratched from the original starting lineup with right side tightness. So Perez moved up from 5th to 3rd and sure enough hit a game tying home run. Two and two. Hard to short. Segura can't get there. Perez is aboard. The 4th hit for the Brewers against Robbie Ray.
Just a couple steps in a dive there for Jean Segura. That ball was really hit hard through the left side. Could only slow it down into shallow left field for a 1-out base hit.
Chris Carter, the National League strikeout leader, has been up twice and struck out twice today. 0 for 2. The Orioles' Chris Davis and Cleveland's Mike Napoli, the only players in baseball who have struck out more than Chris Carter this year. That's in the seats and out of play. Starting to get some real cloud cover now overhead. Roof and panels are open here today. It was bright sunshine when we started. Now not so much.
Well, lights have been on here for the last couple of innings at Miller Park. Didn't need them early. Sun was very bright.
And you mentioned it, Bob. Good crowd here today for a Thursday afternoon. Both the two sections, the lower section and the middle portion of seating, all the way foul pole to foul pole, pretty much full here at Miller Park. Fastball missed inside, and it's 1-1. Here's a good look at this ballpark. This is a nice ballpark.
Yeah, it really is. And the roof obviously needed early and late in the season here in Milwaukee, but much like Chase Field, on nice afternoons like this, you open it up. Boy, the first 3 games this series were absolutely perfect.
Yeah, we had great weather here. Temperatures in the high 70s today in Milwaukee. 2-1 on Carter. That 3rd inning is when Robbie Ray got the first 2 in the inning. Then Jeanette singled, Perez homered. Ever since then, he's given up only 1 hit. Perez takes off, and he is in there. Another stolen base for Hernan Perez.
We talked earlier this series about Orlando Arcia, their fine shortstop prospect coming up through the system for the Brewers. Figures to be knocking on the door shortly. Jonathan Villar might move over to third base. Hernan Perez, he's a very attractive player. Can play multiple positions. He runs well. Showed his power earlier in this ball game.
He's a very good defender, both at second base, third base. Can play shortstop as well, like he is today. Full count on Carter, 3-2. Oh boy, they got him off the bag. Just did get back safely. Robbie Ray just gave it a cursory look back there, then noticed that Perez had wandered a little too far away from that bag.
That's one of those pickoff attempts where your intention is just to shorten up his lead, but as Robbie spun around, Perez was leaning the wrong way. Quick throw probably has him at second base.
3-2 pitch. He walked him. Second walk issued by Robbie today. So the Brewers have something going. 2 on and 1 out. And the batter is Kurt Nieuwenhuis. Nieuwenhuis 0 for 2. He has struck out twice. Mike Butcher a mound visit. Robbie had retired 8 straight since the Perez homer. But then he singled, Carter walked. Bullpen will get busy. Enrique Burgos. Robbie Ray now over 90 pitches. His spot is due up 4th in the top of the 7th. Perez at second, Carter at first, 1 out. There's a strike, 0-1. Nieuwenhuis has a pair of hits in the series. He doubled here Tuesday. He's also struck out 5 times. Been a struggle for Nieuwenhuis against lefties this year. 190 versus left-hand pitching. And so far 2 punch outs and 2 at bats against Robbie Ray today. The 1-1. Missed away with a fastball. 2 balls and a strike. Robbie at 96 pitches, 60 strikes. Got the call away that time. Got him. Robbie Ray. That's a new career high. 11 strikeouts. Martin Maldonado. Struck out 10 Reds Saturday in Cincinnati. Today in Milwaukee, 11 Brewers. Through 5 2/3. Maldonado has struck out and lined out to second. He homered here Monday. Grunting is great if it makes Robbie aggressive, but sometimes, and we've seen it a few too many times today, that grunting makes him overthrow a bit, whether it's the fastball or the slider. Kind of overthrew that one a little. fallen behind on Maldonado 2-0. 100 pitches for Robbie, 62 for strikes. With Enrique Burgos warming up in the bullpen.
Kind of an awkward follow through that time for Robbie Ray. Hopefully nothing physically wrong there. Kind of stumbled off to the third base side. Took a moment to gather himself before getting the ball back from Tuffy Gosewich.
Perez at second, Carter at first. 2 outs. 2-2 ball game in the 6th. Base hit. Ed Cedar going to send Perez home. Here's the throw from Bourne. It's cut off, and the Brewers have a 3-2 lead.
As dominating as Robbie Ray has been today, if you consistently put big league hitters in favorable counts, this time 2-0. Fastball up and out over the plate. Maldonado didn't hit it particularly hard, but just got it over Gene Segura in front of Michael Bourne. And the Brewers take a 1-run lead.
Yeah, that's my bad. Ricky Weeks Jr. out there. Ricky had no chance to get him, and the throw was cut off, and that's going to be it for Robbie Ray. As here comes Chip Hale to go get Enrique Burgos. So Robbie Ray leaves trailing 3-2, but he's got a career high 11 strikeouts. Not able to finish off the 6th inning. Burgos in, back after this. The 6th inning. Well, Robbie Ray, you don't want to leave trailing in the ball game, but still a new career high 11 strikeouts. At one point he struck out 5 in a row.
Some of the best stuff we've seen from Robbie Ray so far this season in the ball game today. Unfortunately, one bad pitch to Perez ended up in the seats out in left field, and then falling behind in the count to Martin Maldonado. Got that base hit into left field, but another huge step forward for Robbie Ray today.
The Gig Life High Speed Highlights presented by Cox. 10 strikeouts Saturday in Cincinnati. He struck out the side twice in that ball game. Struck out the side twice again today. And sets a new career high with 11, but he leaves trailing 3-2. And so your Arizona Federal Credit Union pitching change is the right-hander Enrique Burgos, a 4.08 ERA, 16 appearances. He worked Tuesday's game against Milwaukee, 1 scoreless inning with a hit and a strikeout.
11 innings pitched over his last 9 appearances, only 2 earned runs allowed. That's a 1.64 ERA recently.
He'll face the center fielder Keon Broxton. Enrique Burgos has been very effective lately. Since his latest minor league recall, 9 appearances, 10 strikeouts in 11 innings. He's given up only 2 runs. Carter at second, Maldonado at first. High heat, he chased it 1-2. Of all the young pitchers in that Diamondback bullpen, and it's a kiddie core back there. A lot of guys who've been up and down from the minor leagues a lot this season. The two guys that have most impressed, certainly in the mind of Chip Hale, are Jake Barrett and Enrique Burgos. There's Jake on the far left there.
Yeah, Jake's been especially good. 11 straight scoreless appearances out of that bullpen.
1-2 on Broxton, trying to get out of this 6th inning.
That was a splitter again from Burgos. We haven't seen a lot of those.
He showed that earlier this year, and it was absolutely filthy. Then it seemed like he kind of put it away for a while. There were times before this season where that pitch just looked deadly.
If he throws another letter high fastball to Broxton, this at bat is over. Cutter that time at 91.
Full count, 3-2. There go the runners. Broxton lines it to Weeks Jr. and it's over his head. It's off the wall. Carter will score. Maldonado being waved home. He will score. And it's 5-2 Brewers.
Supposed to be a cutter or slider at 91 out over the plate to Broxton. Got the barrel on it, just froze Ricky Weeks out there in left field. That's too bad for Robbie Ray. Those 2 runs that scored will be credited to his ERA.
And with the pitcher's spot coming up next, Zach Davies is out there. They'll walk Flores. Two-run double for Keon Broxton. Just his 2nd hit in the series.
That's one of those at bats. If you're a pitching coach or a manager or even a teammate, and you get back in the dugout, I got to ask Tuffy and Enrique Burgos, what were you thinking there? Early in the sequence, Burgos was just bullying Keon Broxton up in the strike zone with fastballs, and he wasn't even coming close to him. And then after that, you go to a splitter, you go to a cutter, you go to a little baby slider.
Got to read what the hitter is doing.
Yeah, he's not catching up to that high fastball. Just blow him away, send him back to the dugout. Don't overthink it. You don't have to make the hitter look bad. You just have to get him out.
Well, here's the pitcher, Zach Davies.
And so many times when you're down that dugout, your hitter come back to the bench and said, man, did he do me a favor? Threw me that changeup. I couldn't catch up to his heater. Or he hung me a curveball. I wasn't even close to his sinker. Yeah, sometimes pitchers and catchers, you get kind of overthinking at bat a little bit.
Well, this is the era of the data explosion. You got more information on everybody than ever before. Sometimes just depend on the old eye test.
Yeah. Keep it simple.
Broken bat dribbler. Drury at third comes in. And he throws him out, but the Brewers get 3. They lead it 5-2.
Lead as we head to the top half of the 7th. Hey, D-backs season ticket holders, it's almost time to renew your season tickets. Be on the lookout for your renewal that will be arriving via email very soon. If you have any questions, call us at 602-514-4444 or log on to dbacks.com/advantage. D-backs fans in the house here at Miller Park in this series. Yasmani Tomas will lead it off for the Diamondbacks here in the top half of the 7th inning, followed by Brandon Drury, Tuffy Gosewish, and then the pitcher spot.
Yasmani, a 2-run double in the first. He's 1 for 2. Zach Davies suddenly with a 5-2 lead as we start the 7th. Tomas rolls one into center field, the leadoff single. His second hit today. That'll bring up Brandon Drury. He didn't go, says Gary Cederstrom at first, and it's 1-0. Brandon 0 for 2. He has popped up and flied out. Drury 3 hits in the series. He doubled Tuesday, had a couple of singles last night. And Brandon got off to that tremendous start this year from the middle of April through the middle of May. He was collecting extra base hits just in bunches. But the adjustment process since he peaked with a .320 batting average in mid-May has continued. Since May 15th, he's hit about .220. Hard to third, and Elmore can't make the backhand stab. That's a base hit for Drury. First two have reached in the Diamondbacks' 7th against Zach Davies. Tuffy Gozewish's spot is up now, but there's no one in the on-deck circle behind him. He's got the pitcher spot coming up. We'll see who they send into the on-deck circle behind Tuffy here. Bullpen is busy for the Diamondbacks. Jake Barrett is up and throwing. And here comes Jake Lamb, looks like. Yep. Tuffy 0 for 2. Haven't seen Jake Lamb since he was 0 for 4 Monday in the series opener. He's got that bruise on his left hand that was affecting his swing. It hurt so much he just couldn't hit. He's 0 for his last 19. But Chip Hale told us the other day they wanted to make sure Jake was ready to go for at least one at bat in the ball game if needed. And they need him. They're down 3 here in the 7th. Will Smith, the left-hander, will get busy now that Lamb's in the on-deck circle. Two and one on Tuffy. Diamondbacks have out hit the Brewers 7-6, but they trail at 5-2. Oh, we've seen, Bob, why the Brewers like Zach Davies so much out of Mesquite High School in Gilbert. He has looked really good here today.
Well, there's a lot to like. There's a good assortment of pitches. Seems to really know how to use them together. Throwing a lot of strikes, a lot of movement on most of his pitches.
Duffy bangs that one into the ground. Elmore in the hole. Jeanette can't turn it. Duffy beats it out. Tomas is in at third.
Elmore really had to range far to his left. Couldn't get much on the throw to Jeanette, who tries to turn it over anyway. Duffy busting it down that first baseline. Just does beat it out as that ball short hops into the mid of Chris Carter over there at first base.
And we'll wait for Lamb to be announced as the pinch hitter. The Brewers are looking at that plate first. Craig Counsell trying to signal to Martin Maldonado go take a mound visit, or he's trying to get the attention of Chad Whitson. And now Lamb is announced. So Counsell is out of the dugout. He's got Will Smith warming up.
Now Craig Counsell was just waiting for the home plate umpire Chad Whitson to point over to the dugout and indicate that Jake Lamb is announced as the pinch hitter.
So Zach Davies exits. Jake Lamb coming up. Diamondbacks trailing Milwaukee 5-2.
Here, the hope was that rest would help that left hand, and that seems to be the case. No batting practice the last 2 days, but today before the game, Chip Hale said, look, he's going to hit in the cage, and if that goes well, he could be a guy that could pinch hit. So, guys, he obviously passed with flying colors, and hopefully if he comes out of this fine, he might even be able to play and start a game even as soon as tomorrow in L.A.
That's when we get David Peralta back from Reno as well, so that would be nice to have both those guys in the lineup. Big spot for Jake Lamb. The left-hander Will Smith is on from the Brewer bullpen. We saw him in the ball game Tuesday night.
Gave up a base hit, struck out a batter, walked a batter. His run came around to score on a hit to Paul Goldschmidt given up by Tyler Thornburg.
Yasmani Tomas is at third. Tuffy Gozawish at first. One out for Jake Lamb. 0 for his last 19 with 10 strikeouts. Really bothered by that bruised left hand. Jake hitting .284 on the year, 21 home runs and 65 RBIs. They have taken the base hit away from Brandon Drury in this inning and ruled it E5, the error on Elmore. So take the single away from Drury, and that's E5. Almost threw that one to the backstop. Maldonado got out there to block it. 2-1. Jake Lamb, this has been an ongoing narrative. He's just under 190 this year against left-hand pitching, but there's some home runs in there, some walks as well. The quality of the at-bats has been much better. 2-2. Full count. Michael Bourn on deck. Got him. 2 outs.
Chip arguing that was a foul ball off the bat of Jake Lamb.
He's saying it hit the ground.
Definitely drops. It's just a question of whether Jake got a piece of that or not. Didn't look like it.
So it's up to Michael Bourn now. 2 on and 2 outs. Bourn 0 for 3.
Pretty tough when the hitter doesn't argue immediately. When it comes from the bench,
Yeah, it didn't look like he got a piece of it.
with a try, but you need a little more acting from Jake.
Bourn dunks one into left center. A base hit. Tomas will score. RBI single for Michael Bourn. A 2-out hit. And it's a 5-3 ball game.
They just kind of soft served that one out into left field. It's a tough left-handed pitcher. Stayed right on it. Just kind of guided out there off the end of the bat a little bit. I think a lot of left-handed hitters, especially guys like Michael Bourn, who don't hit for a lot of power, they really shorten up their swing against lefties and just try to make contact to the opposite side of the field.
Well, here's Phil Gosselin. If he can drive one into right center like he's been doing throughout this series, Diamondbacks might have a chance to tie the ball game with 2 outs and Bourn at first, Tuffy at second. Gosselin doubled to right center in the first inning. He scored a run. He's 1 for 3. Out of play, 1-2.
Oh, what a play. That's the best play I've seen in 4 days. A lady sitting in the front row stood up, leaned over the railing with her hat, and caught that ball.
Outstanding.
How about that?
Just don't lean over too far. Gosselin strikes out. So if the Diamondbacks get 1 back, 7th inning stretch at Miller Park, it's 5-3. Home half of the 7th in Miller Park. What's next brought to you by CenturyLink. We head to Los Angeles after this ball game. Open up a 3-game set at Dodger Stadium tomorrow with Zach Godley on the mound against Kenta Maeda. Braden Shipley makes his 2nd big league start Saturday versus Scott Kazmir. Then it's Patrick Corbin and Bud Norris Sunday in the road trip finale. New pitcher. It's the right-hander Jake Barrett. A 2.72 ERA in 42 appearances. Worked a scoreless inning Tuesday night in this series at Miller Park. He's got some defensive changes behind him. We'll have those for you in just a second. As Jake Elmore leads off the 7th for Milwaukee. Brandon Drury moves over from 3rd base to 2nd, replacing Phil Gosselin. And Jake Lamb is in there at 3rd. So Lamb will bat 9th, pitcher spot now 2nd in the Diamondback order. Three 3-0 on Jake Elmore. Leadoff walk. Scooter Gennett has walked, singled, scored a run. He's 1 for 2. And Gennett has now hit safely in 7 straight games.
Scooter at the plate, Tuffy behind the plate.
I like it.
Need to get Randall Delgado on the mound. His teammates call him Randy.
The Randy Tuffy battery. Scooter Gennett, 6 hits and 4 runs batted in the series. He had a home run here Monday. Jake Barrett has pitched scoreless baseball in his last 11 appearances. But a walk to Elmore to lead off this inning. He's ahead of Gennett 0-2. Jake in his last 11 outings has given up just 7 hits. A couple of ASU Sun Devils squaring off in that previous at bat. The walk to Elmore. That's tapped foul. Third base, the short hop for Lamb. One away, Elmore moves up.
Maybe because they play so many defensive overshifts, but the Diamondbacks have really been reacting well when a player gets caught out of position. That time Jake Lamb had to charge that ball at third base and throw across the diamond on the move. Gene Segura, Jake Bear, Tuffy Ghostwish all sprinting toward third base just to make sure that a defender was there in case there was a play.
Becoming more and more routine now with all these overshifts.
Yeah, you can't just relax at your position because the ground ball's not hit to you. You can't just stand there and watch the play anymore. You have to react and make sure you fill whatever gap there is on that infield defensively.
Well, Ryan Braun was in the original starting lineup for the Brewers. He was scratched about an hour before first pitch with right side tightness. Hernan Perez, who was hitting fifth, was moved up into the 3-hole, and boy, it's really worked out for Craig Counsell. Perez has a 2-run homer, a single, 2 stolen bases. He scored twice. And they're at shortstop today for Jonathan VR. Short-handed lineup for the Brewers today. No VR, no Ryan Braun, no Jonathan Lucroy. But they lead the Diamondbacks 5-3. In the air to right field, the Yasmani Tomas broke back, now comes in, and he's got it for the second out. Kind of a very light sky right now with this heavy cloud cover. The lights are on, as Bob mentioned. A lot of white as you look up, trying to find that baseball. Outfield panels and roof are open. The wind is blowing in, but swirling around the infield bowl. Chris Carter has struck out twice, walked, scored a run. Jake Elmore, the runner at second, and 2 outs. Chris Carter just 6 for 44 at the plate since the All-Star break. Oh, 0-2. Yes, he went. Gary Cederstrom rings him up. Third strikeout today by the National League leader. 5-3 Milwaukee as we head to the 8th.
Couple of runs, 5-3 as we head to the top half of the 8th inning. Hey fans, especially you students over at ASU, August 23rd is ASU night at Chase Field. Get a lower level ticket and a custom ASU D-backs cap for just 15 bucks. Limited quantities available. Buy now at dbacks.com/ASU. ASU.
Diamondback fans here with us as we start the 8th inning. New pitcher for the Brewers. It's Tyler Thornburg. He worked in the second game of the series Tuesday night. 1 1/3 innings. Gave up 2 hits, a walk, struck out 3. A 2.21 ERA. His 43rd appearance of the year. Gene Segura 0 for 3 today, leads it off. Segura with a 9-game hitting streak on the line. He has struck out, flied out twice. Sends this one deep to right center field. Nieuwenhuis backing up, and it's off the glove. Gene Segura is in there at second to start the Diamondbacks' 8th inning. The adventures of Kirk Nieuwenhuis continue in right field.
Like we said 3 times in the ball game last night, he got a glove on it. Just couldn't quite catch it. Gene Segura puts a charge on this ball to the opposite field. Nieuwenhuis took a very shallow line and has to turn and run straight back toward the wall. Tips off the leather. Gene Segura ends up at second base with a leadoff double, or whatever that was.
That's a double. His 21st of the year. Figured they give Nieuwenhuis a break. Here's Goldie. Tying run at the plate, nobody out. Goldie a walk, 2 singles. And he's got 8 hits in the series. And Segura able to extend his hitting streak. It's now at 10 games. Two and two. Ricky Weeks Jr. on deck. As Manny Tomas behind him. Over the head of Matt Williams and foul at third. Rockies have won that game in New York. They beat the Mets 2-1. Later today, the Giants are hosting the Washington Nationals at AT&T Park. Elmore at third. Looks Segura back to the bag. 1 away. Here is the former Brewer, Ricky Weeks Jr. A single in the first. He's 1 for 3. Looks like with that helmet, Ricky took one in the side of the head.
Yeah, every time I see it, I think the same thing. That or a pigeon flew into his helmet.
Center field. That one gets down in front of Broxton. Here comes Segura. Here's the throw. And he scores. Weeks Jr. into second, and it's a 5-4 ball game. The RBI for Rickie Weeks Jr.
Somewhat of an aggressive send by Matt Williams there. Keon Broxton got to that ball quickly with his speed out there in center field. No hesitation. Matty windmilling Jean Segura the whole way. Throw to the plate offline. Jean's able to score, and on the throw to the plate, Rickie Weeks moves into scoring position for Yasmani Tomas.
And he is the tying run with one away. Tomas at it again today. A 2-run double, a single. He has scored a run. He's got 6 hits and 8 RBIs in the series. Strike one. Yasmani has now hit safely in 5 straight games and 8 of his last 9. 5 doubles, 4 home runs in his last 9 games with 10 RBIs. He did not go, says Gary Cederstrom. That one buzzed the tower on Tomas.
Now you see Maldonado wants it up. Pitch tails inside a little farther than Yasmani would have liked right there.
Chases that one in the dirt. Maldonado completes the strikeout. We're talking before about Tomas's head staying on the ball.
Yes, committed to his swing there. Chased that bad breaking ball that bounced in the dirt.
A chance for Brandon Drury with a tying run at second and 2 away in the 8th inning. Brandon had a base hit his last time up, that it was changed to an error. So he's 0 for 3. Trying to get Rickie Weeks Jr. home from second and tie the ball game. There's a strike, 0-1. Fly ball center field. Broxton. Diamondbacks strand the tying run, but Rickie Weeks Jr. with the RBI. They're within 1. It's 5-4. Back at Miller Park in Milwaukee, the young lady in the hat right there holding the baseball, the author of our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play of the game in the hat. A tremendous catch, just don't lean over too far in that railing. Our Chaz Roberts air conditioning and plumbing cool play of the game, nicely done. A one-run ball game as we start the bottom of the 8th inning, and the new pitcher for the Diamondbacks, it's Tyler Clippard. 39 appearances this year and a 4.17 ERA. Last 2 outings have been bumpy rides for Tyler. Last Sunday, walked 3, gave up that 9th inning home run before hanging on to close out a 9-8 win against the Reds. Kirk Nieuwenhuis leads off the Milwaukee 8th. Nieuwenhuis has struck out 3 times, 0 for 3.
And keep in mind, Craig Counsell does have Jonathan Lucroy and Ryan Braun available off the bench. We assume they're both available.
And DR as well, if you want, who's a switch hitter. Nieuwenhuis is the hitter, Maldonado the catcher on deck. Diamondbacks have out-hit Milwaukee 9-6, but they trail it 5-4. Quick pitch, missed upstairs, 2-1. Well, that'd be tough for Kirk Nieuwenhuis. If one night he committed 3 errors in right field in 2 innings, and then the next day he puts on the sombrero.
Tough game.
Crushes this one deep to right field, and that one's going to go. Kirk Nieuwenhuis, a little redemption, a leadoff homer off Tyler Clippard to start the 8th inning, and it's 6-4 Bruins. A 2-strike pitch carries out of here, his 9th of the year.
7th home run given up by Tyler Clippard this year. Very little doubt about this one. Oh my. Held high out over the plate where Nieuwenhuis could get his arms extended and jerk that ball back to right field up into the second deck.
Nice catch out there. And another bro moment. Martin Maldonado trying to bunt for a base hit, but bunts it straight back to the mound. Clippard throws him out. That was close.
Put Goldie in a vulnerable position there with that lollipop throw to first base. Fortunately able to get the ball and get off the bag quickly.
Like that catcher trying to bunt for a base hit. There are the bros and the dudes.
Camp day here at the ballpark. A lot of youngsters at camp. I'm assuming that the gentlemen in the red shirts are the counselors. All the kids with the camp shirts on. Very excited.
Some more than others. Yeah, good crowd here today. Almost 34,000 for a Thursday afternoon game. Keon Broxton. A 2-run double his last time up. He's 1 for 3. 2-2. Struck him out.
Quick pitch fastball up in the zone. Austin Tardy once again. Elevated fastballs have been a lot of problem for him in this game.
Ramon Flores, the left fielder, has struck out twice. He was walked intentionally his last time up. Jeremy Jeffress warming up in the Milwaukee bullpen. Diamondbacks in the ninth will have Gozawish, Lamb, and Bourne. 8, 9, and 1. Pitcher spot after that. Pitcher spot is coming up next for Milwaukee, and Jonathan Lucroy is in the on-deck circle. If Flores should reach. Flores, though, 5 for his last 50 at the plate.
Five for his last 50. He had struck out the previous 2 at bats, but drew an intentional walk in his last at bat in front of the pitcher.
And then Zach Davies grounded out to end the inning. Two and two. Well, you don't want to give Lucroy a chance to come up here. Not when you're facing a guy who's 5 for 50. Reaches out and lifts this up in the air behind shortstop for Segura, who's calling for it. And that's the end of the inning. But Neuenhuis's homer has made it a 6-4 ball game as we head to the ninth. Diamondbacks trail at 6-4. And on to try and close this one out for the Brewers. Guy can be a pretty good pitcher. He's a handful sometimes. Jeremy Jeffress, the right-hander. A very good 2.18 ERA in 43 appearances.
Came into it's the end of game 2 of this series, a 9-4 Brewers victory. Struck out a couple of batters, otherwise zeros across the board.
Tuffy Gozawich's spot will lead off the 9th inning, but Mike Freeman is going to hit. So it'll be Freeman, Lamb, and Bourne. 8, 9, and 1 in the Arizona 9th inning. Mike Freeman, we've been saying it all week long, trying to get that first big league base hit. This might be his last chance. He is 0 for 8 with 4 strikeouts and 2 walks. David Peralta will rejoin the Diamondbacks tomorrow at Dodger Stadium, and so the roster spot in that outfield, it's likely going to be Freeman who has to be moved. So this could be it for Mike, trying to get that first big league hit. He's ahead, 2 balls and no strikes. Freeman hit .317 in just under 90 games with Reno this year, 1 home run. He was hitting .352 over his last 30 games. When he got called up, that was when Chris Herman went on the DL.
Diamondbacks right now just looking for a base runner, bring that tying run, potential tying run to the plate. Wellington Castillo trying to talk Chip Hale into an at bat.
Got him. 95-mile-an-hour fastball, 1 away. Oh boy, they're going to close the roof and go home before the game's over. Starting to get a few raindrops now.
This roof is considerably slower than Chase Field. It takes a little while. Apparently some rain in the forecast sneaking its way here to Miller Park.
You think they might wait till the half inning is over at least.
I think it's moving so slowly the players on the field won't even notice it.
I think you're right. This is the middle of a long homestand for the Brewers. They lost 2 of 3 to the Cubs. 4 games against the Diamondbacks. Then the Pirates come in here for 3 starting tomorrow. 1-1 on Jake Lamb. That's out of play, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Diamondbacks once again got some runs in the first inning. They led 2-0 after a half inning on a 2-run double by Yasmani Tomas. Hernan Perez hit a 2-run homer in the 3rd to tie the ball game. Milwaukee then got 3 in the 6th. RBI single by Maldonado, a 2-run double by Keon Broxton. Now it's 6-4 in the 9th. The 2-2 to Lamb. Full count. Michael Bourn on deck. There's a guy up there walking the catwalk between the 2 parts of the roof that are going to close in on him in a minute here, high above the center field scoreboard. That roof is starting to make progress. There he is. And you can see his space between the 2 roof sections is closing. Bird's eye view.
Must be a great view from up there.
See all of downtown Milwaukee, the lake not too far away. Jake Lamb putting up a fight with a full count.
Quite the battle going on here.
Getting pretty impressive. The roof is just about shut now. Really changes the lighting in here in the middle of Jake's at bat. 10th pitch of the at bat on the ground is Scooter Gennett. 2 outs. A 10-pitch at bat, 5 foul balls, but Jeffress wins the battle. And it's up to Michael Bourn. Bourn had an RBI single his last time up, 1 for 4. The pitcher's spot is up next. And if Bourn should reach, Wellington Castillo would hit. He's out in the on-deck circle. Missed at 95, and it's 2-1. Right back to the mound, and the Brewers win 3 of 4. Diamondbacks lost 2 of 3 in Cincinnati. They lose 3 of 4 in Milwaukee. They are 2-5 on the 10-game road trip, and as the fireworks go off inside the ballpark, you look at the standings, and suddenly, Bob, the Diamondbacks have lost 20 of their last 26 games.
Ouch. Yeah, and you know, you got to tip your cap to Craig Counsell and the Brewers. We mentioned before game 1 of this series, they'd gone through almost a month-long stretch of playing teams over 500, and now have come out the other side. They've got a lot of talent on that ball club over there. A lot of young talent, much like the Diamondbacks.
Well, 3 more games to go on the road trip. We head to L.A. next. 2 hours and 50 minutes. The D-back sombrero in the house, Robbie Ray, a career high with 11 strikeouts. But the Diamondbacks dropped this one 6-4, despite the fact they out-hit Milwaukee 9-7. We'll have reaction from the clubhouse. You'll hear from Chip Hale and some players coming up. Diamondbacks live post-game show is next here on Fox Sports Arizona. D-backs drop this one 6-4. Back from Miller Park after this.